Okay, today we are going to change the spark plugs on a 2017 Suzuki 300 4-stroke. Also have my lovely assistant here, Mia. She's going to show us and help us out and grab us tools and do things like that to help us during the process. So the first thing we need to do, we have six spark plugs that are going to be put in here. So we're going to go to the top. I'm going to show you how to remove the actual protective. They sit behind this black piece of plastic right here. So we'll have to remove that on both sides. That's step number one. All right, so we start by removing these two bolts right here. These pop out. I've already pre-loosened them. The rest of them right up top. And then if we look here at the side, these are going to be tucked in there. So we just pick this whole piece up, and then that'll give us access to where the spark plugs are actually at. All right, now that we've gained access to it, we are going to need an 8mm wrench. And we're just going to pop this loose on all three. Oh, that one's going to be hard. Okay, we'll pop it loose like that. I want to do one at a time in the full completion so there's no screw ups. So we're going to pull one of them out like this. Get the screw out right there. And this should pop the cap right off of your spark plug. So next we're going to pull this spark plug out. This one is about a 5/8 socket. Put it in there. We're going to break it loose. So you can see that's probably about due for a change. So what we'll do, grab the new plug. You can see the difference here on the two. And we'll put this down in here in place. We're going to tighten that up. Just about hand tight. Pop it on out of there. Now that the spark plug's in place, we go ahead and put this back in. You can feel it suction onto there. And then we're going to replace this back in. That bolt started. Like I said, I like to do one at a time. That way there's no confusion. I can't mess anything up. And I know that nothing gets skipped and they're all changed out. Tighten that back up, just hand tight, and that one is complete. Now this one here might be a little difficult because you're not going to be able to get your wrench in there, so you're probably going to have to take this out by hand, just with a regular wrench. Alright, so what we found here is it's going to be a whole lot simpler to take off this cowling and go ahead and remove the bolts to get to that last area right here where the spark plug is. That's on both sides, so I'll show you real quick how we take that out. It's a heck of a lot easier just to remove the cowling. It's like 8 little bolts. I'm sorry, let me get a good count. I think it's like 5 little bolts. And then we can pop this out without any problems. before you were running and hitting right up against here, and it just made it kind of a pain in the butt. So go ahead and take the time and remove those out. So as you can see, that made it a heck of a lot easier to get in and gain access to that. There's no sense in fighting it. But while we're down here, let's address another problem. On the Suzuki, the only thing I've read bad or seen bad so far is right here. You'll see all this corrosion. This is an area you don't get to all the time. So you get some corrosion on there. This T9 corrosion protection, what I do is I spray this on my motor usually, but I haven't got down to this side yet. So make sure while we're back in here to cover all those areas, keep any corrosion from building up on any of your metal parts. Just coat that whole area back there to where we normally can't get to it. And if you just get one of these motors, I'd probably remove this and coat it with it in here to make sure everything's protected, so you don't have that buildup of rust in case you ever do have an engine problem. And you need to pull these bolts out, they're not seized in there. So here we are on this other side now, on this back cylinder. These are the hard ones to get to. We've kind of got it loosened up. We might have to do a, yep. See how it won't get all the way in there and you really can't gain access. Well, actually we might be able to. Look at this. Thing pops out. The trick is to loosen up this cowling, and you can gain access to it and get in and out. Makes it a lot easier. And there, just like that. Got that plug out. So we can get the new one in real quick. Like I said, on that side, we want to put a heavy coat of this corrosion block on it. Anywhere we normally can't get to, let's cover it. Be real generous with it, because you'll thank yourself later on, trust me. Anywhere where you can see bolt heads or anything that you might need to take off later, squirt this stuff down. Alright, we got all that put together. I'm going to put this back on. The key to it here is these slide down, just like that. You'll hear it pop into place. And we got these right here that need to bolt in. Number 10 head. Just gotta line it up. We got 2 of those bolts. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. lined up on these little rubber grommets. Push it down, boom, locks it into place. Our number 10s. A little difficult to line this up because I can't really see it, but I'm just going to do it by feel. Got lined up. Go ahead and torque it down. Alright, so now we just need to put this cowling back together. Kind of clicks in right there. And then we have 2 bolts here on the very back. We got to get started. It's a little difficult by itself. So. Kind of ratchet a little bit until you get it started and feel it starting. You see the gap starting to close. Once that gap's completely closed, yeah, that one's in. Just hand tight is all we need. Alright, that one's in. So now we come back here. We got 2 bolts up here in the front. And get those started. Got one here. Then we got 2 more right here. Alright. So the lesson learned there was it's much easier just to take that bottom cowling off, and that way you can gain access to everything instead of having to fight it. But that pretty much is changing the spark plugs on the 2017 Suzuki 300 4-stroke. Hope you enjoyed the video and it helped you out. If you liked it, please hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.